Yes, there's racism in Vancouver, and there's been racism from the time Canada came to be, because of the fact that how Canada as a nation comes to be, and the relationship or lack of relations with First Nations people, Indigenous people. So that racism from that time created a hierarchy, and we continue to see, especially in Vancouver, around housing. And one of the biggest examples is supporting refugees to find housing. And I remember as a younger person working with an immigrant serving group, speaking on the phone for to rent a space. And as we approach, and the family I was supporting, they were from Djibouti, Ethiopia, they were refugees, they were black. And as soon as the person saw them, the door shut, and they said, no, the suite is taken. For white society, and we're really talking about white society, right? Because that's how Canada comes to be. We're a white settler society, just like the States, just like Australia. That's the area I teach in. I teach Canadian society as a white settler society. And if we don't understand that, we're never going to be able to reduce racism in our country. Maybe it's a neighborly issue. Oh, you're too sensitive. Or you're making something out of nothing, just get over it. This is the Canadian everyday language. And that's how the racism and the racial exclusion and racial hatred has it continued to grow and grow and grow. So you see the black man walking around the neighborhood, the black man walking around Shoppers Drug Mart, and immediately he's followed. I don't know how often you're followed in Shoppers Drug Mart or in other stores. So these are moments that tell that body that's being followed, you actually don't really belong here. You need to exit ASAP. And that experience happens at every level of all institutions within Canada. It is really important to be critical. Multiculturalism is at the surface, At school, elementary school, high school, it's multicultural day. What do? You bring your food, you get into your dress. But do you talk about more than that? Like, what is Canada comfortable with? I think we're comfortable up to the food and up to the clothing. Anything about the history, the Chinese Exclusion Act, the only people ever, ethnic group, a racial group, to be denied entry into this country for 23 years through law are the Chinese people, right? First Nations people couldn't leave a reserve without the agents approving that. What does that mean? What is the kind of snowball effect over time? I'm very saddened that I teach at UBC and I've never had a Musqueam student in my class. Can you imagine? Any other country you would go in the world, you would have people who live there in your class.